H-A-T. It's in the name.
Welcome into the Helping Healing Humor with Ben and Travis podcast, straight from Robert Trent Jones Golf Course at the UNA Christian Student Center Golf
Extravaganza.
I
don't know what it's called.
That's what we're calling it.
And so this episode is brought to you by the UNA Christian Student Center. The Helping Healing Humor podcast with Ben and Travis is brought to you by Freedom 5K on July the 8th. We will be running it in the Shoals area, and all proceeds go to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I hate to see children suffer. I used to avoid St. Jude commercials because I just couldn't bear to see the images of kids fighting for their life against a dreaded disease. Then one day we got the call. Several weeks before, doctors in Huntsville had performed surgery on my son to remove a small tumor on his face. The call was from St. Jude. The doctors in Memphis wanted to take more margin around the tumor and run more tests. Within days, we were walking the halls and pulling cypress in the famous Little Red Wagons. I had to see the kids, a lot of them, some in wheelchairs, many missing hair as a result of their treatments. People from all over the world and all different backgrounds. All came for one reason, hope. Hope that they would be able to find a cure. It's that hope that gets me to run even when I don't feel like it. I run not for me, but for the young ones. I run to give them hope. Thankfully, my son is doing well. He bears the mark of St. Jude on his left cheek in the form of a scar. But it's a reminder to me of the fight that other kids are still fighting every day. The Freedom 5K on July 8th is just one more way to raise money for St. Jude. If you can run, then we hope that you will sign up. If you would like to sponsor, you can do that too. For more information or to register, go to benandtravis.com/store. That's benandtravis.com/store. We're here with the El Presidente of that organization, Mr. Blake Holloman, of course, resident Barner representing the Pat Dye era hat. I kind of like it. I hate to say it, but it's true.
Just admit he likes something
it's true.
It's amazing.
So we're gonna film some stuff, record some stuff, maybe some hard-hitting questions. Of course, Will's here with us. Will, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
It's good to have you with us because you're our golf
Which is really bad.
legend.
I'm the one that you're relying on. So.
Yeah, maybe it's okay. Of course, you got Ben.
How's it going? We've played one hole, par 5. We parred it thanks to Will and Travis's clutch putt to get us there.
From the fringe.
Now I'm only here to record.
It was amazing.
So, Blake, your silky smooth voice is what starts this thing anyway. So you feeling good today?
I'm feeling great.
How about the weather? Is it worked out for the...
Man, the weather compared to last year, this is about as good as it can get.
Are we going to get rained out like we did last year? Did we get
I do not
a
think
storm
rain
challenge
is
or something?
anywhere in the
This
forecast.
is the actual hole last year where the lightning and thunder hit, and we had to pause the tournament.
Had to head on back.
That's
and
right.
all that good stuff. But we did want to jump on, shoot around some lightning questions. I don't know if they're lightning questions because we don't want to say lightning, right? That's probably
Let's
bad.
not say that.
But they are quick hitting questions. The first one I want to start with is golf a sport? Is golf a sport? And that question always gets asked. It's usually around cheerleaders. Is cheerleading a sport?
You better be careful.
But
with that.
no. I'm going to set this up. I'm going to let you guys kind of give you guys an out.
Blake, go. Tee off.
Because the skill, it's a skill.
I would say absolutely a skill. Like there's no question at all. I guess.
And I'm not saying that skill can't be a sport.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, and it's actually a compliment because golf is a skill that I do not have.
Yeah.
It's the hardest sport I've ever played.
Yes.
I do know that.
And it's it's you're really playing against yourself in a lot of ways, especially when you get older. You're not really playing tournaments except here. So I would say skill for sure. But there's a ball included.
Yeah.
And you got to be in shape on some level.
I think there's 2 out of 3 qualities there that
So 66%.
I think if you have 2 out of 3, you could say it's a sport. But I think sometimes people get offended when you say something's a skill. And I don't know if that's offensive. Like, you either have a skill or you don't. You can practice and get better. But there's some people born to do this thing, and I am certainly not one of those.
Well, as Ben stripes one right down the middle, he looked very coordinated. And, I'll call it a sport.
Excellent. All right. I think we're 4 for 4 on it being a sport, but also a skill.
All right, so we are back here at the Student Center Golf Tournament, UNA Christian Student Center Golf Tournament. And as we mentioned, we have the president of the UNA Christian Student Center, the board president, Blake Holloman. And so we're thankful that he let us play with him today and that we're getting to hang out with him. But so we have a really important question. The next question is, you know, you have the local church and you have a lot of churches in the area, but you also now you have the Christian Student Center. What's the purpose of the Christian Student Center? What do you find? Because I know when you went to UNA or when you were in the Shoals, you were participating with it too. So in your opinion, what is it? And this is, I guess, for everybody after you, what do you think the best part of and the biggest reason for the Student Center is?
Well, have you seen what's going on universities and campuses nowadays?
Yes.
I mean, the rumors and the crazy things that I hear, you can't make it up. So this stuff has to be going on, that it just seems to be getting farther and farther away from the truth and how God would have us to act. But for the Student Center itself, I don't view the Student Center as something that is separate from the church. I view the Student Center as an extension of the church. And, you know, in any way that we can be on campus, have a presence there at UNA and fight the good fight for Christ and for what Christians stand for, is leading souls to be saved and having Christian events on campus. I think that's just the best thing about campus ministry.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to throw into that, Travis?
Oh, I'd say
you're a campus minister too.
Yeah, I would say for guys like Will and I who work with high schoolers, it's always nice to have somebody you can kind of pass the baton to that keeps the momentum going. And obviously, I agree with what Blake's saying. Is it's a tremendous opportunity. All right, we're on hole 17. Blake's about to murder another ball, and just want to start off with another question. What is your least favorite sports rule? Least favorite sports rule.
That's a nice shot, Blake. We can use it. Very nice.
My
Least favorite sports rule, Will Mayan.
the charge in basketball.
Oh, you got an official feeling the charges. It's over, especially if you're playing somewhere else. Ben, what you got?
The fact that half of those rules are just subjective, you know, that you can't know. So like that one, I would say one of my least favorites is, and what made me think of this rule was the third strike in the dirt. And you can run on it. I saw a video the other day, and the guy was talking about why that was a rule, and it dates back actually before baseball. It's pretty cool. But anyway, he was like, it's time for it to go. Probably my least favorite is one that started is the clock for the pitcher and the batter. I just don't like that one. I feel like it rushes everybody. I know the point is to speed the game up, but people like baseball because it's baseball. So leave it. I also didn't like putting an extra runner or a runner at second in the extra innings, but that one's growing on me a little bit.
Like what you got?
Anyway,
my least favorite rule is when the player robs a home run and the player lands over the fence, they still count it as an out. If the ball and the player both fall over the outfield fence, that should be a home run because they caught the ball out in the outfield, out behind the wall. So I'll take Robin.
I'm going to go with the NFL pass interference where it happened. That's redonkulous. At least change it to where outside between the 20s. Okay, I could live with that. But they basically give them a touchdown if they don't catch it, and they rule pass interference. And there is no such thing as offensive pass interference anymore. So that's my takes. All right, Ben, we're back on. We're going to follow up this last question kind of with something else that's along the line. Unpopular opinion, get off my lawn, old man take. Doesn't have to be sports. It can be anything. My example is I hate when people, as a coach, I used to get, I'm not going to play via text and email. You just don't do that. Like, just come to me and say, hey, this ain't what I'm about. I had a few players do that. No problem whatsoever. Email, text, don't quit on me like that. Also, don't ask girls out via text. I hear that happens, and that's my old man. Get off my lawn.
Probably not a good one. Yeah, I think my old man get off my lawn would probably be kind of along the same lines. Is I know I used to get really irritated as a youth minister when we would go and do a work camp or do something like that, and when we were somebody get through, they just go sit down. Like they wouldn't just go find something else to do. It's like you had to go and find them and get them started again on another project. It's like, I guess, that part of my personality is if once one thing's done, I'm going to go find something else to do. Mm-hmm. So I think it's kind of a get off my lawn old man take, is just like, go find something to do. Go find something, the work to do. There's plenty to do in the church. There's plenty to do most places. Like, go find it. Go get into it. Don't wait till somebody asks you. I think that's the biggest thing. So, Blake, what you got on an old man get off my lawn take on anything?
Don't wait to ask for my help until the night before. Ooh. Like, if you're going to need my help with something, let's plan it out. I don't want to get a call at like 10 p.m. being like, hey, we need you to have a big part in this event that I've got going on tomorrow.
So you were kind of aiming that at me, weren't you?
Yeah,
with the Lord's Supper, Lord's Supper, last minute take. Hey, would you come help me? Could you do a prayer? Could you do the Lord's Supper?
We gotta go find Ben Ball.
So far, what do you think, Travis? What you thinking about the whole day?
Well, it's always good company, so it's kind of hard not to be a little excited about good company. I'm not being too serious because I can't afford to be.
If golf is a sport, and I think it is, we're not making any teams or any tournaments anytime soon.
No, we're not. So, but it's a good day. It's the one day a year I play. So
that's right. So why not?
All right, we're on hole 2. Dose. We played a bunch. And our next question is why do people love sports so much? And does it have a purpose? Anybody want to jump on that?
I mean, I love just the competitiveness of it and the challenge that it faces. I'm no huge athlete, but I just kind of like that feeling of not just facing off against other people, but like doing better than what you've done before, which I've not done today. I've come up way short of that today. Haven't played in a while, and game looks pretty weak. But yeah, I think it's just because it challenges us. I think that's why we like it, and I think that's the purpose of it. You hear guys talk, and you guys can speak more to this from a football standpoint, but about just the camaraderie and the way it sort of challenges you, and you've got to fight through adversity and all those kind of things. So I think there is a good purpose to it, but y'all can probably speak to that more than I can.
I think it helps us teach people how to lose. Because I think at some point,
we're going to do that really well today.
At some point, you need to learn that there's probably always someone out there that's probably a little bit better than you. And part of that motivates you to be better.
Like growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Like I'm going to challenge myself against people who are better than me, not just the people I can beat.
You got teamwork, especially team sports. Golf's not necessarily a team sport. Scramble is, but, it teaches you how to interact with other people and, realize you need other people in life too. So I think it serves a good purpose.
Like I could really use somebody right now.
Anybody out there, please.
I always tell people that I peaked in 11 and 12-year-old baseball. I mean, I was the stuff back then, and it's just been on downhill ever since. But sports just brings me back to my childhood. Going out there, having fun, getting to play children's games. It's I don't know, it's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I think playing football for me, it was a way in which I could step in between white lines and all of a sudden hitting people with my full body strength, which was like hitting somebody with a flea, that I wouldn't go to jail. So yes, there is a purpose, and I could try to hit this ball as hard as I want.
Let out a little aggression.
So, a little aggression. Yes, anger management. But it is sort of a religious, you see the fans, these guys that go to college football games, when we go to college football, you let it all hang out, you have a blast, you want to do that, but it's kind of that thing where if we're going to show up and yell Roll Tide or War Eagle a bunch, we need that enthusiasm to kind of go over into some things that really have eternal lasting.
There's some life lessons in it. Even Paul wrote about, those who compete in the games and those who race and, all those different things. And he uses that as life lessons for spiritual things. So I think, you can find lessons in just about anything. So yeah, I think there's a purpose.
There you have it, folks. Get to hit people illegally, not go to jail. All right, we're here on hole 5, although we played way more than that, or some people might call it playing golf, but we've been trying.
We've messed up on way more than
Yes. So the question now is, what are the benefits of having a text group with some of your best friends? And I would say sort of like my answer to sports, right? You step between the lines and you get to hit people, and it doesn't really mean you're going to go to jail. There are things that you can say in a text group that, of course, the Lord still knows, but everybody in there at least go be quiet. They're not going to get a lot of rebuke, but I would say, you can say some things in there that you might not want to be made public, but then also they have the receipts. So you also know when to back off, right? Like, so if Blake here's giving me a hard time, he has to know there are limitations there, that there can always be texts screenshotted and sent to different people.
It's a safe space with accountability. This is a good way to sum it up for me.
All right, that's a good enough answer. No need to hear from you guys now. I'm just kidding, man.
As iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. So I think, when we have those text groups, sometimes it's just, for fun. Sometimes it's funny, but sometimes it's, hey, I need somebody praying for me. I need some help with this question, whatever that may be. So I know we've found a lot of that. And I pose that question because of, this group. This group is one of those that we have a bunch of texts that have gone out.
Same thing goes for the golf course, right? Happens out here. Stays
That's
here.
right.
Yeah. The pros, or I guess the positives of it, is my wife would say it keeps me busy and happy, because she's always like, the con would be I'm sitting in bed at, 11 o'clock, midnight, and I'm just laughing. She's like, would you please stop texting Ben and Travis and Blake?
Yeah, that was going to be the other answer, is what's our other question. So second question along with that is, what's the bad part about having a text message with your friends?
It keeps Lindsay up at night. That's what it is. But I think it's all the same. It's just being able to let your hair down with people you can trust and know, and just, goof off and have some fun.
I guess the worst part for me on that second question is trying to, answer the 30 or 40 text messages I get in an hour while I'm in a counseling session.
Yeah.
So what's the worst part of having the group?
I think Blake answered it earlier. You never know when you're going to get that night before. Hey, I need this.
That plus being in a group text with 3 Alabama fans and you being the only Auburn fan is rough.
Well, being the only non-Highland Park member, I get a nice view into what services are going to be like on Sunday morning. Well, we're here wrapping up our day of golf for the UNA Christian Student Center, and it was fun.
It was fun. We had a good time. We did not do good at all, but that's okay. Most teams were probably 5 under or better. We were 5 over, if that means anything. But to those of you who are listening, but not as good as we should have been. But maybe we're not the worst. So we'll see.
Fellowship was good.
It was good. It was good. We had a good time. 4 good calls. If you guys have anybody going to UNA, check into the Student Center. It's a great place. They do a lot of good work, and your kids will enjoy it, their time there, being a part of it. So I hope that you guys will look into it.
Absolutely. And, of course, we'll be back at you next week. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks for being with us for this episode of the Helping Healing Humor podcast. Be sure to download our free ebook, 28 Days of Focused Living, at benandtravis.com and receive all of our Helping Healing and Humor extra content directly in your inbox. We look forward to having you join us at the same Ben and Travis time, same Ben and Travis channel.